On this video, we're going to address drug use, and this can be both illegal drugs and this can be legal drugs that somebody is using somebody else's prescription. And the reason we're doing this so early in the series is that it's taken a lot more importance lately. And the reason for that is courts in Arkansas have always had the power to order a drug test on anybody. But in the past, if somebody was going to ask for a drug test, you had to have a really good reason for it. And you had to really present some facts for the judge to go order it. Things have completely changed now. And for the most part, if anybody requests a drug test, they submit this standard order where the other side has to go to a testing facility within 24 hours. And if they don't, it's deemed a failed drug test. And if you fail to comply with it, or if you go to it and you get a failed drug test, now we're looking at only getting supervised visitation of the kids and paying a ton of money in child support. And there are a couple of lawyers out there that are using this as a weapon. And we think we've seen situations where we've had clients being set up with this. So first things first, if illegal drug use is going to be an issue with you, go ahead and bring that up with us. Let's address it. This is confidential, it's private, and we can best guide you for how to get that out of your system and how to get to where we can pass a test if it's going to be requested. The other big question we get a lot is how long is this going to be in my system? And so courts use a hair and nail test along with the urine test. So hair and nail can reach back as far as 6 months. Now it depends on your actual history of use, what exactly you're using, how much of it, how often, but just you're not in the clear until 6 months has passed. So that's something that we need to be thinking about. Then we get the question now, well, what about if I get a medical marijuana card? We would say if using marijuana is important to you, then it's good to go ahead and get it. Judges are still a little split. Some judges don't even care about a THC result, whether or not you even have a marijuana card. And then others are going to acknowledge that since you have the card, then it won't be a violation to test hot for THC. But there are some judges around there that are still going to be like, well, medical marijuana card or not, you don't need to be under the influence if you're going to be watching kids. So it's something that you're going to have to consider, and along with the lost gun rights. But for now, our advice is going to be if marijuana is something that you're really accustomed to, really used to, it's better to go ahead and get the medical marijuana card, and at least you're covered that use was legal. Now, on the flip side, if we think that we can catch the other side using an illegal drug, then this is something we might want to use. Because if we can catch the other side and ask for a drug test and they're hot, now the whole thing flips. It's going to be supervised visitation to them. You're going to get the kids most of the time, and they're going to be paying you a ton in child support. So if we think we're in a situation where we can catch them with something in their system that shouldn't be there, it's something that we can use. Now, the other thing that I'm counseling my clients on is watch out for unusual situations all of a sudden. And we've had a couple of cases where clients out at a party, using drugs isn't really their thing, but they go ahead and do a little cocaine because there's a hot girl there. And then next thing you know, a couple days later, here comes that drug test. So just be very careful of something like that. Anything that kind of looks out of the ordinary, all of a sudden, there's a hot girl, a hot guy want to do drugs with you. You might be getting set up for this. And we've seen it enough times that I'm cautioning against it. Now, if you really have been using drugs during your marriage or during your time with your co-parent and they know about it, then we'll guide you through that and and there's steps you can take to show that, kind of make a big to do about, okay, I've quit, it's over, it's in my past. But it's a very important issue that's going to have a dramatic effect on who's going to get the most time with the kids, and then it can have a drastic effect on child support. So that's why it's something that we're bringing up early. And in the first substantive meeting, we're going to ask you a tough question. Is this going to be an issue for you? Is this possibly an issue on the other side? And so that way we can get out in front of it early. Thanks.